Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, April 9th. It is 6:20 right now. Market's going to open in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Just give me a few moments. Let me try to fix this real quick. The stream is like frozen on my end, but I know it's working. It's frozen, but it's not working on my specific end. All right, let me go here. All right, perfect. There. All right, as that loads up, let me go ahead and send this link out to you guys here in the premium. It's good. I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. All right, everything looks good. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, April 9th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and we'll get started shortly once I mark up liquidity here. Looks good here, there. I'm just going to go to the closest levels because, I'm not expecting price to go super far down today. So that looks good. Going down to the 4-hour. Going down to the 2-hour. You can see prices kind of just been consolidating. It's pretty obvious right here on the 2-hour time frame. Over the past, couple hours or so, or past day, I guess. You guys can see over here, this range has been going since Friday. So yesterday, market didn't really move too much. We'll see if it moves more today. But it shouldn't affect us too much because we're taking the regular scalps anyway. So we're going for the smaller moves. And shouldn't affect it as much as it normally does. Since we're not going for those big 25-point moves anymore. All right, down to the 15. Down to the 10. And right back down to the 1. All right, guys, so got liquidity marked up here. Closest level of liquidity is going to be above right here at 39,288. There's one right above it, and there's going to be one right below at 39,235. So those are the two closest levels of liquidity. Looks like this upper one will probably get hit first, might get hit pre-market or might get hit on open. But we'll see what happens here when the market does open. Currently ATR is at 8 points right now, so it's not super high, but it's pretty average for pre-market ATR. Let's go over here to the clean chart. I'm gonna mark up 6:30, mark up 8 o'clock, go up to the 4-hour time frame. Identify structure. So we have structure up here. We have structure right here. We have structure down below right here. Going down to the 1 hour to see if there's anything closer. One right here. This one's like kind of pending. I'll leave that alone for now because it's not established yet. Let's go back down to the 1 minute. All right, so this is all that we have that's really nearby current price. This is going to be the 1 hour support level. Right there. And that's pretty much it for now. I'll go ahead and take a look later once market opens. We'll see where price is sitting, but right now that's pretty much all we have with regard to higher time frame structure. Yeah, Nick, got everything lined up ready. So everything's pretty much good on my chart. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, everything looks good. All right, looking over here at the BB3 chart, we currently have a double body rejection up here. We already have a sell signal, so we're not going to have an entry here for a sell. And that's about it. Looking over here at the PRB, we currently have a bullish trend, so we might be looking for a buy here for the PRB. But we'll see what happens when the market opens. ATR is currently at 9 right now, so it's slowly picking up. And lastly, over here on our main chart, let me check the news real quick to see if there was anything that happened today. Let's see, we had news at 3 o'clock, 5:55, and 7. So 3 o'clock, which is like way down here. You got 3 o'clock, 5:55, which is red book. And then we have news coming up at 7 o'clock. All right, so that's pretty much it for today. All the high impact news comes out tomorrow. We have CPI, which is inflation news. We have CPI, core inflation rate, crude oil stocks per usual, Fed speaking, and the FOMC minutes. So, I mean, the market might just stay flat today. So what might happen today is market might stay flat like it did yesterday. As you guys know, Monday's like the feeler day. So like on Mondays, you can kind of see how the market's moving, and then typically the market will continue to move that way for the rest of the week. Seems like a lot of people might be sitting out of the market until FOMC on Wednesday, but it's not always the case. So we'll see what happens. Jeff's asking, Sean, is it possible to show us how you did the mark out? How did you mark out the lines on NinjaTrader? You just go to the scale. So go to your chart, go to your scale, right click, go to properties. It'll say horizontal lines where it says automatic. You change that to fixed, and then you just change points to 10. So every 10 points, it'll have a line on your grid. That's how I did it. It's pretty simple. Yeah, so just go to your chart tab or your chart window, go to the number on the side or where's your scale with pricing, right click, go to properties. It'll say horizontal lines. And then you just change that from automatic to fixed, and then you just change the below it a new pop-up will open, and it'll say points. So from points, you just put that to 10, and then every 10 points, there's gonna be a line there. So it's gonna be easier for you to set up the the NPS entries. All right, guys. So market is now open. Yeah, I can't show you guys my NinjaTrader because I'm on my Mac. So I wish there was a way to like screen share that, but I can't screen share it on there. I'll probably find a way at some point in the future, especially if I'm gonna screen record certain things. Okay, got it. Perfect, Jeff. Yeah, it's easier, right? Once you have that open, makes things so much easier to see. All right, there goes opening price right there. So the first level of liquidity here got hit already pre-market. I mean, obviously you're not supposed to really take it pre-market like that, but looks like it kind of swung out. Anyways, back to the charts over here. There's no BB3 entry coming up yet. We're looking for a double body, double wick on the bottom end. Looking over here at the PRB, there's no entry yet either. The trend here might be shifting. If it shifts, then we're going to start looking for a sell. But the trend right now is still bullish. So we'll have to see what happens here next. Thanks, Shannon. I'll take a look at that. All right, guys, market is now open. So we don't really have any entries here yet. So in order for us to have an MPS entry, we need to have a buy signal. Yeah, I mean, other than that, there's not really much here to take right now. The ATR is currently at 15, so it's not super high. As you guys know, the MPS requires a 15 ATR. Also for the breakout V3 continuation, we also need a 15 ATR. If you guys didn't sit in on the live session yesterday, that's something that we discussed. That's something that I'm now implementing. It's not super necessary, but it is something that I am implementing. So the ATR is now at 15. We might have a breakout V3 continuation, not a traditional breakout V3, but a breakout V3 continuation here that might be available. If the ATR stays high and if this closes with the buy signal. It's not looking like it's going to close though. Doesn't look like it. All right, so we have another pinning buy signal right here. There's no PRB entry setting up yet. There's no double body, double wick on the bottom end. Liquidity right there just pushed through to the next level. Retail sentiment is currently 65 short. This indicates that 65% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So you typically want to do the opposite and buy. CNBC just reported right now that stocks rise as Wall Street looks ahead to March inflation report, which is going to happen tomorrow. So that release is coming out tomorrow. And you can see right there, as soon as CNBC reports something that stocks are rising, market goes down. Right. This was a weird thing that we didn't have yesterday. So yesterday there was no CBN reporting at all, which is kind of unusual, especially on a Monday. So right here, we currently have the rejection off the pivot, guys. This could be setting up for the PRB entry. So we have the first rejection right there. You're now looking for some space consolidation. And once you have that, you'll probably be looking for the possible entry channel. So PRB is setting up. There's no other entries here available yet. All right. So we have another rejection right here. There's no space consolidation channel for the PRB. PRB is still setting up here. There's no other entries available here at the moment. Let's see. All right, so I'm just going to draw a structure right here right now. All right, so this is the 1 minute resistance level. And this right here is going to be the 1 minute support level. So this looks like this might be the range for right now. ATR is currently at 18, so it's not super low, but it's I mean it's actually pretty decent, but it's jumping around. So you can see over here went from 18 to 16 to 17 to 15. It's just bouncing around between 15 and 18 points. Candles are a little blocky right now. Yeah, exactly. Drew said power CNBC News. Didn't this happen last week on Trap Tuesday? Yeah, it did. I think on last week, it changed like 6 times. It was like negative 300, the negative 400, the negative 600. And I've never seen that before where it updates like every time it changes. Usually they just give one update and that's about it. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. Well, yesterday was weird because there was no news at all. Like there was like no breaking news the entire session, which is really unusual for a Monday. We kind of got caught in a trade yesterday as well when that happened. All right, so this is setting up for a BB3, guys, for anybody who's looking to take it. We have a double body rejection down here. We have a pending buy signal. This could be setting up for a BB3. Also, this could be setting up for a PRB as well. We currently have rejections off these candles here. If this candle kind of sits above here, this is going to be setting up for a for the space consolidation candle. And if price does retrace back down, this could be a setup for the PRB. So PRB could be setting up right here soon for anybody who's looking to take it. I will mark it up for you guys. I'm not taking this trade here myself. I'm just marking it up for you guys. And then same with the BB3. I'm not going to take this trade here myself either because I'm looking for the scalps. When you guys are taking these trades, it's hard to take all three or even two because of the risk, right? Unless you're managing your risk where you're able to take all the trades, then fine. But it's hard because they're all different TP stop losses. You have to use different contract sizes. I don't have time to switch my contracts that quickly. So I don't have luxury of going through and just changing my contract sizes super quickly between the trades. And unfortunately, that's like something that I just wouldn't be able to do. All right, so we have the PRB over here that's setting up. It's because I have different account sizes, different accounts from different platforms. And it's just, it's way too, there's no way that I could take a trade and then go back and change all my lots, all my contract sizes, and then come back just in time for the next trade that would appear. So this right here could be the PRB entry. If we get a rejection off any of these pivots, whether it be blue, red, green, orange, this is going to be the entry for the PRB for anybody who's looking to take it. There's no breakout B3 here because there's a buy signal. It was not followed by a green candle, so there's no setup there. And you guys can see that price is pretty much just ranging, just like we anticipated from yesterday. So there's no entries here yet. There's no MPS. There's no breakout B3. There's no CV entry. There's double body here, but this candle here was bigger. He said F with his emotions like R. Kelly or Bubba. Stephen Bubba. All right, guys. So we got, let's see. All right, guys. We do have the PRB still setting up. It's just not there yet. So the PRB is still setting up here, guys. You're just looking for that rejection off the pivot. So what might happen here is price might push up a little bit, and then it might reject on this next following candle. So you're just looking for that rejection right there. If this candle here closes green, then odds are you do have an entry here for a PRB. So if anybody's looking to take it, this candle just has to close green. If it closes green, this is going to be the PRB entry. I'm not taking it, like I said. I'm just going to be marking it up for you guys, and you can follow it. But I'm not taking it because I can't adjust my contract size that quickly. The PRB has a 25-25 TP stop loss, and our scalps here are using a 10-25, so it's a big difference between the two. And this candle here does not look like it's going to close green. So there's not going to be or actually this still might be if it's rejecting off this lower level here or not. It rejects off this red level down here. So this right here is a PRB, guys. If anybody's looking to take it, price came down pretty heavy to the level 4 pivot. It rejected directly off it at the very last second right there. And this right here would be the PRB entry. Again, I'm not in this position. I'm just following it for you guys. We'll come back and take a look at that later. I'm going to go back to our normal scalp page over here because I don't want to miss anything. So we currently have a PRB for a buy. This might be a pretty good setup if we have, a CB entry that comes up here, a CB entry or even a momentum pullback scalp, because it's going to be in confluence with this PRB entry right here. So this here might line up with another entry. There might be like a double confluence or not. Price might just keep dropping. It's really just within this range. So if you look over here at the clean chart, it's just ranging within these 2 points, just like we marked up earlier, right? I already marked this up a few minutes ago, the 1 minute support level and 1 minute resistance. This could be a fake out right here, and this can pull right back into the range. You guys got to keep in mind today is Trap Tuesday, so expect the unexpected per usual, and then expect like big traps to be set up. So I wouldn't be surprised if this here just kind of dumps down a little bit. Then it swings right back up. Right, no surprise there. I mean, this is kind of normal for Trap Tuesday. These zones here actually be very important for Trap Tuesday because these are where the traps are being set up. Just make sure to identify where I'm drawing these zones because this is probably going to be a fake out. In my opinion, I think this is going to be a fake out, and I think it's going to swing back up eventually. Might not happen right now, might not happen in the next couple of candles, but I think eventually it's going to fake out at some point, and then it's going to go straight up. Yeah, so the PRB looks like it didn't play out today. I wasn't really expecting it to so the problem with these two breakout strategies, guys, is that market is typically ranging. The breakout strategies are directional strategies, so it's tough to catch entries, in that direction, especially on a day like this Trap Tuesday. And that's why I'm sticking to my regular scalp. So my original scalps over here, these work fine all throughout the season because we're only going for 10 points. So we're not necessarily going for anything crazy. We're just going for a quick 10 points here and there. I was talking to Gian and Maddie and a couple other guys. There's a trader that I'm familiar with that I know from Apex, and he got paid out. He's only trading like 50K accounts. And he got paid out 40,000 over the past 3 weeks. So he got paid out a total of 120,000 in like 30 days. And the only strategy he's been applying is very similar to our MPS entry. So he kind of just waits. He's on the charts a lot longer than us. He's kind of on like all day for the most part, but he's just waiting for MPS entries. He's looking for like 1 or 2 MPS entries. He's only going for 10 points. He trades exactly how we do. I don't know if he's been in our group in the past. I didn't really ask him, but all he does is trade MPS entries. And he takes really small contract sizes, trades on 50K account, and he pretty much just kills it. So that kind of shows us that, the original way of trading is probably the best style of trading for Apex because you don't get caught in the drawdown. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been caught in drawdown before. Well, we got caught in drawdown last week when I was taking the BB3 entries because we were going for the 25 points. Price would push up like 10, 15 points and then completely reverse. And that kind of screwed with a lot of accounts. So just keep that in mind, guys. I think scalping, our original way of scalping is probably the best way for Apex. And the breakouts are probably good for like different types of accounts that don't have a trailing drawdown. So we got price dumping down a little further. This is fine. We're waiting for the trend here to confirm. Once the trend here confirms for a sell, we can start looking for a MPS entry. Because we do have a sell signal here. Prices come down. The trend hasn't confirmed yet, so the MPS could still be setting up. The only problem with the MPS here is that price is down at news. You can see exactly where price rejected off. It came down to news right here, and it rejected directly off that pink line, which was news from this morning. So if we do get an MPS entry, we got to make sure that it's not around sessions and it's not around news. That's where manipulation happens, of course. And you guys see here, price rejected directly off news price, right? It's no coincidence. I drew this pink line here before market opened. So we already had this price marked up there. And you can see how accurate it is. And this is why we avoid trades at these lines. So basically any horizontal line that goes from left to right, blue, pink, purple, red, green, etc. You're not going to take any trades around those points because those are going to be areas of manipulation. So looking at this right here, we have an MPS that is setting up. It's not ready yet because the trend here hasn't confirmed yet. But we do have a possible MPS that could be setting up sometime soon right here at the 30 mark, or maybe the 20 mark here. All right. We got price dropping down further. The only problem here is that it's going to be pretty close to the news price right here, like I said. So it's kind of tricky. We do have the shift over here in trends. We do have a bearish trend now. The only problem here is that if this ends up setting up for an entry at news price, it's going to be a red flag. And it's right at news price right here. Unless it drops down a little further. If it drops down to the next level down here. ATR is currently 18. So if this pulls up right here, then the entry is going to be set up at the 20 mark right here for the PRB entry. I mean, sorry, not the PRB, the NPS. It's not looking like it though. No, it's not looking like it. All right, so the MPS entry is actually right here at the 10 mark, guys. I'm not going to take it because it's at news price. If you guys want to take it, I've marked it up right there for you. Looks like it's probably already filled. Yeah, it looks like it filled already. It came up, filled the order at the 10 mark right there. But again, it's like right at this. Yeah, and it would have hit too. Fuck. I hate when the entry comes up at news. So there goes the MPS entry right there, guys. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get into it. I'm not sure if anybody else did. It like filled it really quick and then it came down, but it was right at news. So I didn't take it. I'm sticking to my trading plan, guys. I'm not going to trade at red flags because red flags are super risky. But the trade hit. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get into it because that pink line right there, and you guys can see it already looked like the price was manipulated around this point when this candle came down and rejected directly off the pink line. So there goes the NPS right there. I didn't take it. So it's not going to count as a trade. The only official trades count are the official entries. So like the entries that actually come up and they don't fall around red flags, and if I take them. So sometimes there's going to be trades that come up around red flags, but in some situations they're not. For the most part, I'm not going to take them at red flags though. I'm going to be pretty disciplined about taking trades at red flags. We're again right here at the sessions down below. Let's see, Medusa asking what news do you have marked up there? There were two news events this morning, Medusa. So there was the NFIB Business Optimism Index, which was at 3 o'clock, and there was Redbook at 5:55. Two different news events right here that happened pre-market. Not sure which one it was, but it was one of those. Looks like it was the 3 o'clock one. Yeah, right here. It was the NFIB one right here at 3 o'clock. So it doesn't really matter if it's high impact or low impact. I still mark it up because you can kind of see how price still reacts to these news prices, even though they're not really scheduled or they're not anticipated to be very high impact. So prices currently right now rejecting off the Asia low and the New York low down here. Another area of manipulation. And we will continue to wait here. So price swings back up. We'll be looking for We'll be looking for a possible CB entry. I think that's all we could find here because it's currently bearish right now. So we got nothing here right now. There's no BB3 entries, of course. Price is currently at the 1 hour support level. So we'll see if price swings up from here, but it's currently at the 1 hour support. So you can see here, this is why it's important that you guys follow like the zones that I mark up, because price will come right to them, right? So we get the 1 minute resistance, 1 minute support. Price is now at the 1 hour support. I can see a possible fake out happening right here. Price might come down slightly and fake out right back up. Quite possibly. Or price can just, reject right off the 1 hour support level and come right back up. But this is now currently the range. So the range is happening down here. A couple levels of liquidity right here got hit. Not sure if anybody caught these lower levels, but it looks like the lower ones went straight through. Currently, the one down here is currently running, but it's at the 1 hour support level, so it's kind of tricky. But it looks like it's pushing through. Right there. Yeah. So liquidity right there got hit. This liquidity got hit pre-market. So, I mean, obviously nobody really takes from pre-market, but the ones here got hit during the market. Lower level right here at 39,235 and the lower one down here at 39,158, both full TPs for liquidity. So both liquidity right there got hit. Price is still coming down further. Just keep in mind, look out for the fake out, because I wouldn't be surprised if a fake out happens sometime soon. Again, price here is overextended as well. And it's jumping down to the next sessions right here. ETR is pretty high. All right, we're getting a double body rejection right here. If we get a double body rejection here, this could possibly set up for the breakout V3. Again, I'm not taking the actual breakout V3, but this here would be the setup. So we need a double body, double wick rejection right here. Then a buy signal followed by a green candle. That'd be the breakout V3. So if it comes up, I'll mark it up for you guys, but not necessarily looking to not necessarily looking to be caught in that. I mean, it's still dropping further, and price might drop down to this next level down here, the London low. But just keep in mind, this area it's going to be tricky. So if you get a double bot, which we didn't, I was going to say if we got a double body here, this could be the fake out back up, but we did not get that double body there. So price might continue dropping to the next sessions down here, which is the London low. So the London low is down here at this red line. This whole area is an area of manipulation down here and up here. So just be careful if anybody's looking to take anything here. Price is obviously super overextended at this point from this high point down to here. Going over here to CNBC, the Dow is currently down. Only down 78 points, 78 to 80 points. So it's not super strong. I mean, price is bearish, but it's not very strong. Retail sentiment over here at 65 still. And there's no news until 7. You got about 5 minutes till news. News is going to be medium impact, economic optimism index. We have another double body right here. So this might be the reversal. It's got 40 seconds left on it, so it's got a lot of time. But you can see price projected directly off this red line here. We're still in bearish trend. Yeah, exactly. Nick said he's waiting for the CB. The thing that you have to keep in mind is that news is in 5 minutes, guys. So I'm not taking any trades until after. We're probably not going to get anything anyways. But yeah, sticking to my red flags. I'm not going to be taking any trades until after news here. All right, so the double body right there did close. So I mean, there's not really much happening here. You guys can see the volatility is now dying down. It's moving pretty heavy right here. Now it's kind of flat. So this could be setting up for the breakout V3. You're just looking for a buy signal. So if you get a buy signal here, a breakout V3 could be setting up. Otherwise, if price drops lower, this lower low is going to get pushed back, and there's no longer going to be a double body there. So, I mean, we'll see what happens here. Yeah, Nick said might have been manipulation to trap sellers. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it's right next to news too. So I think price is probably just going to consolidate here for a bit until news happens. So price looks like it might push down lower. If it does, this lower low is going to get pushed down farther. And it's no longer going to be a double body. Once new lower low is established, I will go back to our clean chart. I'll mark up a new zone down there. But until it's established, I'm leave it as is. Yeah, it looks like price is just going to go sideways until news. News is coming up in about 3 minutes. It's this blue line right here. It's medium impact news. We might get some pre-news movement, spike back to the upside. All right, so price is having trouble getting past the London low right here, which is kind of expected, especially after being overextended this far down. The boring market. All right. So we've got, yeah, next to the yawn influence, yawnfluence. All right, we have a pending buy signal right here. If this buy signal closes, this could be setting up for the breakout V3. There goes another pending buy signal. It's coming up to news too right here. So it looks like we're gonna have news in between the sessions down here, which is fine. I mean, it's fine, but it's kind of annoying. We have so much, like, there's so many red flags throughout the whole market today, as you guys can see. There's red flags everywhere. There's a London low, New York low, Asia low, news price, Asia high, news price, opening price, etc. So, I mean, realistically, if we're looking for a trade, it's gonna have to be up here. Because if news happens down here, there's going to be another pink line right here, and we're not going to be able to take any trades at that point. So it's kind of similar to yesterday. I mean, the market for today is very similar to yesterday's market. A lot of red flags. Market's not always like this though. Like the past week or so, the market was actually pretty smooth and it's pretty clear. It's just today, not really just today, but for this whole week, the volatility has been kind of low. So market's been consolidating a lot for the weekend. When that happens, a lot of these red flags get bunched up in the same area. So we got news right there. The buy signal still hasn't closed. It's been pending for quite some time now. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to mark up structure down below. This is now the 1 minute support level. because price had trouble getting past it. 1 minute support level. So this is now the consolidation zone within this area right here. There's no CV entry here. No CV entry. Buy signal still hasn't closed. Yeah, Nick said, as CMB said, a lot of retail and industry traders are waiting for inflation news tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. CNBC just reported, I believe, which is expected. I mean, this is what I mentioned at the beginning of this live session. I said the market's probably going to be kind of sideways and just consolidating for Monday and Tuesday because we do have the FOMC news tomorrow. So market might just stay kind of flat. And as you guys can see here, the volatility is super low again. The BB3 still hasn't invalidated yet. So the BB3 can still come up. But you can see here now that price is ranging between the sessions and the news. This pink line right here and this red line, that's literally where the consolidation is happening. We have a pending buy signal right here. This could be setting up for possible breakout V3. It's rejecting off the pivot. See if it actually pushes through. Yeah, I know. Akil said sessions right above is so annoying. Yeah, I know. It sucks because you're kind of torn between taking the breakout V3. I mean, the breakout V3 can very well be a good entry because there's such a big space right here, right, for price to push back up to open. So the breakout V3 could be, I mean, it could be a good entry. The only problem here is that there's a lot of manipulation here within the area. So even though you might get a buy here, price can easily get manipulated once price gets up to the sessions here. You can push up slightly, then fake out back down below. That's one thing. Price can push up even higher, fake out from there. Right? There's just a lot of areas here that are tricky for, obvious reasons. There's a CB entry right here, guys, but it's right at news. So there's a double body rejection, and it looks like we're going to hit TP2. I hate these red flags. So the CB entry here came up, as you guys can see, it was a double body rejection. The red candle was smaller. And it looks like it did hit TP right there. It's all good. It's just frustrating because you guys can see there's a lot of good entries that are coming up. The NPS came up over here. It was at news price. There was another CB entry right here that came up. You can see it's a double body rejection. And it was a nice setup right there. So this was a CB entry, consolidation variation, double body. This candle is smaller and it came right through the TP. So that's a setup right there for the CB. Nikki said a possible BB3 here for a sell, possibly, but it looks like price might be swinging back up soon. I mean, you could be getting it in either direction. Okay, so the BB3 here might be setting up for a sell now, like Nikki mentioned. I mean, might not. Looks like it's not really having much luck here getting past the level. But it's all good. I gotta stick to the trading plan, guys. I know it's tempting to take trades at these red flags. If you guys want to take them, feel free to take them, but you already know, and you guys can already see that manipulation is highly likely at these points. So I'm going to keep off from taking any of these trades. I'm just marking these up here, but these are not going to count as official trades. The only trades are going to count if I take them or if there's no red flags. So there hasn't been any official trades for today yet because of the red flags. There's red flags everywhere today. And this only happens during a ranging market or a consolidating market, guys. So just keep that in mind. There's going to be a lot of days where there's no red flags. The only problem here is that the market's not going anywhere. It's been consolidating sideways. And that's why there's so many red flags here. I mean, if you go on the higher time frames and you just look at price, if you go on like, say, the 2 hour, right? You can see that price hasn't moved since Friday. So you can see here from last week, from Tuesday up until Friday, or Thursday, from Tuesday up until Thursday, it was consolidating, ranging. Again, right here, this has been consolidating since Friday morning. So from Friday morning up until right now, price has not really gone anywhere. That's why there's so many red flags in this area. When price is moving directional, there's not going to be red flags like there is here. So just keep that in mind. You just have to be patient. You know, it's like fishing for those perfect entries. It's kind of like what I said in the past. You're just waiting. You're waiting for those opportunities to come to you. You're not forcing any trades here, just waiting, and the trade's going to come eventually. Sometimes it takes longer than others. On some days, there's just no entries. All right, Nikki, so there's no longer going to be or we'll see, because there's a new high here. So if a new high comes up right here, then there's not going to be a double body anymore. No, okay. So I mean, there could be a CB setting up, but it's at news price, just like earlier. So I mean, it's tough because there's like, unless it pushes up a little more. So here, let's see. Yeah, let's see if there's a price just has to push out of this area. I mean, once price pushes out of this area, so if it pushes up a little more, we still have a little bit of space here, like a little bit, right? If we get a double body or double wick rejection on any of these points here, like if it pushes up slightly up, like maybe close to the sessions but not touching it, and then it comes back down, then yes, possibly we can get an entry here. It's not really looking too great, but yeah, possibly. This could be setting up for a CB entry, but again, it's going to be at the sessions. So yeah, Kenny said weird market today. Today's opening range is literally the exact same as yesterday's. Yeah, exactly. That's why I use Mondays as a feeler day to see how the market's moving. And it's doing exactly that. It is doing exactly that. It's pretty much just replicating what happened on Monday. This is like where we took the loss on Monday, right? Yesterday, this is exactly what happened yesterday. Price pushed up. We had a CV entry that came up like somewhere around here in the middle, and then it came down and it hit stop loss. But it just kept going up, actually. You're right, Kenny. This is exactly how the market was on Monday. If you guys remember, this is literally what happened. Price came down, it consolidated, it came up to the fourth pivot, and it looked like it was going to come back down, but then it just kept climbing higher back to opening price. So this is literally the same setup that happened yesterday. If you guys were here on the live, this is the same thing. Price came down super heavy, consolidated for a long time, like 20 minutes, and then it shot up super hard. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to be really careful if any entries happen right here down the middle. I'm going to be super careful because the market's exactly what happened yesterday. Yeah, thanks, Kenny, for that, because I didn't even realize that until you mentioned it. It's like, it's literally the same way. All right, we have a possible CB entry that's coming up right here, guys. The only problem is that it's touching the session. So this is obviously going to be a red flag again. But yeah, this is another CB entry because there's a double body right there. And this right here would be a CB. The only problem is that it's at the sessions. And it looks like this one here is also going to hit. Yeah, Nick said it's basically what the market does when no one's trading. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of just sits in limbo. Kenny said, I wonder what's going on. Maybe because everyone's waiting for FOMC tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I think too. And there we go, another entry here that would have hit full TP. So you guys can see that the CB entry is a really good strategy. It's just, there's just so many red flags here where we can't take any of these trades. So we had an MPS here that hit, it was at news. CB here hit, it was at news. Another CB here that hit, again, it was at news. So I'm showing you guys examples of the strategy. The strategy is really good if it comes up properly, but yeah, I mean, unfortunately, there's just news everywhere, or not just news, they're just red flags. So we have sessions, we have news, we have sessions, we have news, we have opening price, we have etc. But this is a good sign because you'll see that even during a market that doesn't really move, the CB still hits. That's the whole reason I put this strategy together because we're getting closer to summer and the market's pretty much going sideways. So when the market goes sideways like that, the CB is probably going to be our go-to entry. But yeah, unfortunately, it looks like we missed out on 3 back-to-back wins right here because of the red flags. But it's all good. I mean, this is what the market does too sometimes. The market will kind of lure you in. It'll come up with some, you'll see a lot of good entries come up, but you don't want to trade, you don't want to take trades at like these red flags because it becomes a bad habit. In the future, you're going to keep taking these trades and then they're not going to hit and you're going to be all mad. When realistically, you could have just avoided the trade like we're doing here. So just keep that in mind, guys. I'm only looking for high quality trades, like very high probability entries. And they're just not here. You know, these trades are at red flags, which is where manipulation happens. And there's just no opportunity here for me to hop in. It's only 7:13, so hopefully the volatility picks up or we have some sort of movement or we have some sort of entries that will come up. But, you know, at this very moment, there's just nothing here. There's no BB3 yet. It's still not there. And we're getting that same bullish push from yesterday. So I wouldn't be surprised if this here climbs right back up to opening price. We have another CB entry here again, but it's not looking like one that we can take because it's going to be right at these sessions, of course. Yeah, of course it would happen right there. Not taking the trade, but just marking it for you guys here to see. So if this candle here closes red, it's going to be another CB entry. I don't know if it'll close red, but if it does, possibly. All right, this candle is going to close in a few moments. And this is why you don't trade on red flags. So the reason why this would be considered a red flag is because, you know, for the CB entry, there's 2 candles that will happen, right? You have 2 candles to set up the entry. And this first candle right here was breaking through the sessions. When a price breaks through sessions like that, or if it's touching it, it can be setting up for some sort of manipulation. And with that said, this here would not be something that we would take because of the obvious, you know, red flag here. So whenever you guys take an entry, price can't be touching the red flags. None of the entry candles can touch the red flags. Your TP can't touch the red flag. And that's pretty much it. So you just want to make sure that your trade is not going to be influenced by any part of manipulation that may be happening in the market. Because you guys can see it right here, price kind of pushed up, pulled back a little bit, and then it shot right back up. And now it's touching the news price right here. And I wouldn't be surprised if it just ranges around this area right here now. All right, so again, right here, this could be another CB entry. The only problem is that it's touching the news price right here, so it's another red flag. So like I said, price cannot be touching any of the red flags. Whether it be the entry candle or the setup candles right here, it can't be touching the red flags. This might be another setup right here. Breakout V3 still hasn't come up yet. Here's our clean chart. You can see that price was ranging down below here between the 1 minute and 1 hour support level. And now it's pushed back up into this range. Price is finishing up right here. And there's still no entries for us here. I mean, the only way we'll probably get entries is if price pushes above opening price. So let's see how far that is from here. It's a little far. It's a little far, but it's possible. It's 717 right now. Typically, I'm like done trading by like 740 because that's where the volatility gets really, really low. As you guys saw from yesterday, we were trading up until like 740, 745, and the volatility died down to like 12 ATR or even less, like 9 ATR, which is just not worth the risk at all. But again, there's just nothing we can take here because it's right in between like all of these red flags. So I'm just going to show you guys the charts without the indicators. So let's just turn everything off real quick. And you guys can see over here, if I zoom out, you guys can see where the manipulation happens. So price got up to opening price right here, got manipulated with a bunch of fake outs. Price came down, kind of got stale right there. The news price came down lower, rejected directly off the sessions right here. Got manipulated around news price right here. And then here you go up at the next news price. So you guys can see wherever the rejections happen. The rejections happen at these news price, and that's typically where, or not news price, but just where the red flags are. Price will typically consolidate and get manipulated, and you'll see fake outs around news price. So right here, price came up, rejected off news price, and now it's coming back down right here into a consolidation phase, right? And that's pretty much normal. That's why that's the whole reason why you avoid trades at these red flags. You know, I've traded for years and years and years, and I figured I think the red flags were probably the missing piece that we had over the past, I guess, 6 years or so, how long I've been trading with you guys. Because before we didn't have any of these red flags. Like we used to just trade normally, right? And we would lose a trade and we wouldn't understand why we lost a trade. So over the years, I put together these red flags to know, okay, these are where manipulation happens, and that's typically where we should avoid trades. And now it's one of the hard set rules that we follow, and that's why we have such a high win rate when we trade, because we avoid specific red flags, which is pretty simple. I mean, the red flags are just this over here. The red flags are just sessions, opening price, news price, candle's too big, obviously there's gonna be a retracement, and whenever price is ranging, consolidating, which will just go hand in hand with low ATR. So if the ATR gets super low below 15, that's like automatic consolidation. And you can see over here that the ATR is getting lower because these candles are not going anywhere. This yawn indicator is hard today. It's weird. I usually don't yawn that much. All right, so we have a pending sell signal here, but this is kind of relevant because, or I guess it's not that relevant. This could be setting for a breakout V3 continuation. The only problem is that the ATR is getting low, and the ATR has to be above 15 for there to be an entry for the breakout V3 continuation. Not a regular breakout V3, but a continuation. Just give you guys 1 second. All right. Yeah, and there's probably gonna be a red flag down here as well. I mean, the market looks exactly like Monday. Yeah, Kenny said we cover the entire London session from top to bottom in less than an hour. Seems like the big boys needed the liquidity today. Easy money for them. Yeah, I agree 100%. Okay, so let's see. Let's zoom out a little bit. Yeah, so London session of your price kind of just, I mean, it pretty much ranged for the whole session. So London session started right here, came down a little bit, came up, came down a little bit, came right back up, and then it just wiped everybody out. Whoever was trading London. I mean, you could have been trading in either direction for London and just wiped them up entirely out with this big dump right here. Yeah, good observation right there, Kenny. All right, so we have a sell signal here. I mean, if this red candle closes, it's technically a breakout V3 continuation, but it's right at the sessions. And it's a little too close to the sessions for me. Yeah, I mean, if anybody's looking to take it, this would have been the entry right here for the breakout V3 continuation. The trend here is bearish. We get a sell signal here. It's followed by a red candle. It's here to be a setup for a breakout V3 continuation. But the way that this candle here was closing, you couldn't really tell if the candle was going to close lower or higher because it was so close to the sessions. Whenever the entry is this close to the sessions, I don't even bother trying to take it because you might be like it might come down at like the very last second, and then your entry would have to touch the sessions, which becomes really tricky because price can come down, fake out, and then come right back up, obviously. But I'm not in this position. There's just too many red flags here. There's too many news events. There's too many sessions here. It's just not a good area to be trading in overall. I mean, it's probably going to hit, but it's going to be really close to the sessions there. Yeah, exactly. Nick said probably just going to be another day of sitting. Yeah, just like yesterday. I mean, yesterday should have been a sitting day too, but that one entry came up like super last minute, and it kind of just, ended up throwing us off. This market sucks. It's like so unusual that the market's like this during April because April is usually a pretty, here, let me check. Let's check our results from last year. I'm going to see how the market was moving last April. I just don't remember April being this slow from 2023. I mean, I guess it wasn't super busy, but it also wasn't super slow. So we had about April 2023, we took 19 trades, had 17 wins, 2 losses. The win-loss ratio was pretty decent. It was 89.5. Let's see how price was ranging back then. So you can see over here last April, there was a lot of volatility. The volatility wasn't super flat like it is today. Let's see, today's April 9th. So let's go to April 11th. Let's see how the market was moving that day. So you can see over here, April of last year, the market was still moving. There was volatility, prices pushing up, pushing down, pushing up, pushing down, etc. And I mean, the market was moving. It wasn't flat like it is today. So I don't know. We don't really, yeah, you can see over here too, the day before that on the 6th. This is like late into the session, 7:40. The market was still moving directional. Comparing it to today, let me just take this off. Comparing it to today, there's just nothing here going on. We had like one bullish, one bearish push here, and then a lot of consolidation, heavy consolidation. And then you can see these candles here aren't even like lined up. These candles here are kind of spread out, which is very unusual. Typically, they should be like right next to each other like this, but these candles over here are kind of spread out, moving back and forth. So yeah, it's a little bit of an unusual market. I thought this, well, for me personally, I thought the market would be a lot more crazy because this is an election year, but it's not really that crazy. Which I'm assuming because I guess like they haven't started campaigning yet, but once Trump starts campaigning, I'm expecting the volatility to pick up. Trump is like campaigning, but it's like it's not as crazy as it was when he first ran. Like when Trump first ran, it was like a TV show. His whole campaign was like all over the place. But yeah, this market is really, really, really slow for let me put that entry back up. So the entry that came up was right here for the I think it actually hit. Did it hit already? Yeah. So the entry right there for the breakout V3 continuation hit. Again, like I said, I wasn't going to take the trade because it was so close to the sessions, but you guys can see here that it did hit. So basically today we had 4 back-to-back entries that hit full TPs right here. But unfortunately, we weren't able to take any of them because of the obvious reasons here. Because the obvious reasons of the red flags. So unfortunately, I mean, there was a pretty good handful of entries that we could have taken today. But because of the red flags, we didn't take any of these entries. So there was an MPS here. There was a CB entry here, CB entry here, breakout V3 continuation here. But I wasn't able to take any of them. So we are getting some volatility here, as you guys can see. Breakout V3 still hasn't come up yet. I mean, there's still, or actually it wouldn't be because there's a sell signal here already. Let's see, if price drops past this London low. All right, so if price drops past this London low, we may have opportunity for an MPS entry. I mean, it doesn't have to drop past the London low. It could be somewhere around here. So we could possibly have an MPS entry. I mean, price is still dumping down super heavy. We just can't have one right here at the 20 mark. We could possibly have one here at the 30 mark. Or 40. So we can possibly get an MPS entry here at the 40 mark or the 30 mark. Price is rejecting directly off the sessions right here. Kind of tricky, red flag-ish area. Yeah, I mean, there's a red flag here. If price drops below, we can possibly get an MPS down here. If price retraces a little higher, we can get an MPS somewhere around here. We're getting some heavy volatility here now. Man, what's going on? What's causing this dump right here? Let me check CNBC. There's no news. There's nothing going on right now. I don't know what's causing the dump right now. This market's been really weird. Like yesterday was like this too. We had that big bullish push, but there was no news. There's like nothing that was causing price to go that way. Um, like I don't know what's causing this here to drop, but it's dropping. Yeah. Drew said the yawn indicator hit the market makers. CJ said aftermath after the eclipse, right? Yeah. So, I mean, technically, there could be a setup that could still be coming up sometime soon. If anybody's looking to take it, the MPS might be setting up right here, guys. I'm not sure if anybody wants to take it, but it could happen right here at the 7th. It's just the volatility is really high right now. So it's honestly it's a little tricky. It's tricky because you have to get in like right away. The entry right here, actually, never mind. So the MPS would happen right here at the 70 mark, like right there. See how we put a pending order there.
Order submitted.
So I just put a pending order there. If it drops even further, I'll just cancel it. But this is an MPS entry right here. So price came down, retraced up right here. MPS would be right here at the 70 mark. So I'll just watch it. I mean, if it doesn't come up and fill, I'll just cancel it. So it still hasn't done anything yet. It's kind of just sitting around this area. So it looks like it filled right there.
Order filled.
And the volatility is like really crazy right now. I don't know if anybody decided to take it, but I was about to cancel it and it came up and filled it super fast. It's kind of just moving around there. I don't know why it gave me like that weird order filled thing. Yeah, the volatility is super crazy right here.
Stop them.
Yeah, it's all good. I was giving it a shot,
Order filled.
but the volatility here is just way too crazy as price pushed through. So I'm counting this as a loss because I did take it. But I probably shouldn't have taken it because the volatility here was just a little too crazy. And I was about to cancel it because price came down right here. But then as soon as I was going to, it ended up filling. I mean, technically, if you wanted to take the MPS higher, this one actually would have hit if you would have taken this higher level, but it's all good. So I took that right there. I'm going to be transparent to you guys, of course. I didn't get a chance to cancel it, and I ended up getting caught on the one that was a little too early. If you waited for this next one over here, this one actually here would have hit because it would have came up to this point, dropped down at this 80-point level, and then it would have came back down from there. So the reason why I took this trade, guys, is because as I talked with a couple of you guys here, my drawdown was just way too low on my Apex accounts. So being 100% transparent with you guys, I pretty much blew all of my PA accounts because it was, well, maybe not all of them, but basically for the most part, all of them. There's still like maybe a couple $100 left on a couple of my Apex accounts, but I was tired of trying to climb my way out of this hole. So I'm gonna start off fresh. I'm gonna starting. Well, I'm gonna do it today or tomorrow. I'm going to order 10 300K counts, which was my goal anyways. It was 10 300K counts, and then I'm gonna start the eval process all over again. So just a heads up, guys. So this is why this entry right here didn't really affect me too much because I was on my last trade. So I was like, today was a day that I was either going to make it all back, not make it all back, but I was gonna come back from with a win streak, or I was going to basically YOLO the rest of my PA accounts. Because I had like 200, like 200 to $500 left on the account. And it just would have taken forever for me to get, back into profit. So this trade over here, it was a YOLO trade, to be honest. That's why I didn't really care to take it off right away, because whatever happened, happened. And now I'm ready to start off fresh. So just a little update right there with my PA accounts on Apex. I took the trade here for that specific reason, but it's fine. It's gonna affect the results a little bit, but not so much. But you guys can see how the manipulation happened right here, right? So the entry happened right here. It went up like literally 2 stop loss. If my stop loss was a little wider at 300, it would have been okay. But I left it at 25, and it just ended up getting caught in that spike. So it's all good. I'm gonna go and put this over here. It's all good. We have Maria over here. She made some profit on the trade, actually. Looks like she might have taken the second one that came up. Her total profit was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 500 for the day. Nice work, Maria. Yeah, so for the NPS right here, this technically should have been canceled because it didn't fill right there. But like I said, I was kind of over it, and I kind of just wanted to take the trade and pretty much let it be. So yeah, that's about it with my PA accounts. It's pretty much a toss-up for me. I'm gonna start my 300K accounts tomorrow, and then we'll be back on that eval process. So the reason why I wanted to get this over with quickly was because the discount right now for Apex is running until the end of the month. So right now they have 80% discount, plus they have half off resets. I'm gonna try to pass these evals really quick. Well, not really quickly, but quick enough. So I'm gonna be taking a 3 trade loss risk. Let's see, the drawdown for that is gonna be 7,500. And I'm gonna divide that by 3. So my risk per day is gonna be 2,500. And this isn't a risk that I recommend people take, but I'm only doing this because there's like half off resets until the end of the month. So if I'm doing 2,500, that's going to be 20 contracts. So 20 contracts times 5 times 10. This will give me about 1,000 per trade. On average, you might get like 2 trades per day. So 2,000 profit per day. And with that said, in order for me to pass a $300,000 eval, I have to make 20,000 to pass, right? So divided by 2,000, I need 10 winning days. So if I could have 10 solid trading days where I have about 2 trades a day, 2 wins, I'll be able to pass my 300K challenge pretty smoothly. So that's gonna be my goal for the next couple of weeks. It's April 9th right now. So I'm hoping to pass by May. And then from there, I'll have 300K accounts. So, and I'll be a little more careful too. I'll be a little more careful with my trades moving forward, because obviously I don't want to get caught in trades like this again. But again, like I said, this trade here was kind of like what I would say YOLO trade, in my opinion, which I don't recommend anybody take. But if you're on your last trade and you kind of have to, it's like do or die. That was my situation right there. And that's why I took the trade and I didn't cancel it when I should have, because the retracement happened here, price came down. I should have canceled it, waited for this next one, because if you took the next one over here, this one obviously would have hit on the next level right there. But it's all good. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Let's see. Question over here from Albert. Albert's asking, can someone tell what is the field that changes a horizontal line? That right click and hit properties, don't see it. So you got to right click on the side, Albert, where the numbers are. So go to the scale where it has a price numbers, right click right there, go to properties, and then you'll have an option that says horizontal lines. it'll say automatic. Change that to fixed, and then down at points, change that to 10 points. And then you'll have a line at every 10 points. If you don't see it, you might not see it right now because the charts are kind of spread out. Right? I mean, you should still be able to see it. You might have to just zoom in by like one zoom in because these most recent candles here kind of like screwed up the chart because it was moving down so much. So if you zoom in by like one or two zoom ins, it'll go to like 10 points. Yeah, it's just super spread out right now because of the candles. All right, guys. So if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we will be wrapping this up pretty soon. There's not really many entries that have, well, I mean, there's entries that came up today. So there's about 4 entries that hit full back to back, all full TPs right here. The only problem is that they were at red flags. And then there was one entry right here that came up that I took. This here was my mistake. I don't know if anybody actually took this trade with me here, but I already told you guys it was kind of risky. The mistake that I made here was that, okay, so price retraced up right here, right? This is where the entry would have happened at the 70 mark. When this candle here came down and didn't fill, I was supposed to cancel the order because this is no longer a retracement, right? So at this point, I was supposed to cancel this, and then I should have waited for this to come up here. So as this came up at this point, the entry would have actually happened at the 80 mark right here. And this is where it would have came down. I'm not going to count this trade as a win. Obviously, I'm going to count it as a loss because I took it. But I just wanted to show you guys, I don't want to teach you guys bad habits for these MPS entries because these MPS entries are good if you follow the strategy properly. But obviously, I didn't follow it properly because I was being dumb today, YOLOing my account. But I'm okay now, and I'm ready to come back fresh. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up for the day. Yeah, I'm looking at my Apex accounts right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna cancel them. I have like $200 left on my I have like $200 left on my Apex accounts, and there's just like no point in me. I'm just gonna cancel them. I'm gonna cancel all of them, and then I'm just gonna start the evals. No, there's just no point, Nick. $50 per trade. It's gonna take longer for me to bring that account back than to just do another eval. It's like because you have to make it back to 5,000. So like think about it. In order for me to bring my account back. So say for example, you need to go back to 1,000, right? So like 1,000, because you probably won't increase your contract size until you get closer to 1,000. That's like 1,000 divided by 50. That's 20. You need 20 good trading days or 20 good trades before you can even make it even close to that point until you increase your contract size again. So by the time it takes me 20 days or 20 trades to get to that point, I probably would have passed my eval for the 300K. So yeah. I don't think this thing's gonna keep dropping though. All right, I'll take a sell on like, let's see. How many contracts should I use? These 5 contracts. Make sure I'm on the right account.
Order filled.
Order filled.
I guess we'll see what happens here. Yeah, so this account right here has 800 drawdown. I took a 5 contract. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna cancel the account, so it's not gonna make a difference. I don't think this thing's gonna keep dropping though. It's super overextended. It's getting close. I know, yeah. Say if you win, you win. This is a degenerate trading, guys. I don't recommend anybody do this, but I'm gonna cancel this account today anyway, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, the 800 drawdown left on this one. I mean, who knows? Maybe maybe this will keep dropping, and then I'll end up at like couple thousand, I could save one account. All right, let's just take another full review of the chart real quick before I get off so that you guys can see. Dang, price actually dropped all the way down to the 4-hour support level. So I was drawing the support levels earlier this morning, and I was like, I don't think price will come down this far. It actually did. So price came down to the 4-hour support level. That's a pretty far drop for today. So there was direction, there was movement today, but I mean, it wasn't necessarily good. Because it was like going sideways and it just started dropping right here towards the end. So let's see, the range from here today was about, it actually dropped pretty far. So the regular range was like right here. This is like the normal range, about 1,000 or 100 to 200 points. But the real dump happened right here, which was over 300 points within, I don't even know how long. How long was that? So like in about 20 minutes, price dumped about 400 points. That's a lot of points for it to be dumping. That's coming back down to the 4-hour support. I made $200. And it's back to where it was earlier. I think it's gonna sit right here at the 4-hour support. This is probably what's gonna happen here. But I mean, who knows? If the market goes to shit, maybe this account might come all the way back up. All right, guys, I think that's it for today. There's not really much else for us to look at here or follow, but if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Yeah, I mean, regardless of the fact, I'm probably still gonna reset it, or I'm just gonna start 300K accounts. So my goal moving forward, guys, is that I'm going to start 10 300K accounts. I'm not gonna do all 20 at once. I'm gonna do 10 first, and then I'll add another 10 maybe by the end of the month if it gets closer to the end of April. So I'm going to start with 10 at 300K accounts. My contract size for that's going to be about 20. I'm going to be going a little heavy because they're half off resets until the end of the month. So it pretty much gives me an opportunity to pass the eval super quickly. And the strategies that I'll be applying would be the basic scalps that we've been applying. So I'm gonna be applying the MPS, the same thing we've been doing. I feel nothing's changing. It's gonna be the MPS, the breakout V3 continuation, and the CV entries. So same things that we've been doing here on the scalps. I mean, obviously you guys can see they've been working. The only problem is that we've been hitting these red flags right here. So same entries, same scalp strategies that we've been following, and pretty much just rinse and repeat process until I get funded with those, hopefully by the end of the month. Since I'm going to be able to take higher risk. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up and we will be calling it a day. So, all right, guys, I'll see you guys here tomorrow for the next live session. My new journey on the new eval accounts. So if you guys are looking to start new eval accounts, I mean, this is probably the time, because I'll be starting off fresh and then you guys can build up with me and hopefully get passed by the end of